nobody else probably cares about this with me. But USC, they beat Missouri State 73-13. Again, another game that the the result doesn't mean anything. It's just a couple of good games for USC to start the season and just to get a couple wins under your belt and get on the on the right track before the real games start. Um, so, you start 1-0. Next week it's Georgia Southern, coached by former the head coach that Lincoln Riley replaced, Clay Helton, who I once took a picture with famously outside of at USC outside of the Trader Joe's they have there. But that'd be good for to see Clay. And it's good that Clay, even though he got fired, it's good that he has maintained a good enough relationship with USC that they could, he come back and schedule this game. It's nothing personal; it just didn't work out. And Clayton's a good guy, So it'll be good to see him back. He put a lot of guys. Clay Helton. The thing about Clay Helton is what we call irony is that low key the guys that Clay Helton put some guys in the league that he recruited. I mean Drake London and St. Brown and Tutuiopo and there are others. Those are Clay Helton recruits. And those guys are studs in the league. So, he coached a lot of good players for USC, but just didn't get the results that he or the program wanted, the fan base, the alumni, the boosters, and he had to go. And Lincoln Riley hasn't been doing much better, but tonight, they did what they were supposed to do. Jaden Mayama, he was 15-18. He had 295 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He only played the first half. And in the second half, Husan Longstreet, the prized 5-star recruit, he was the number 4 quarterback in this most recent recruiting class. He was 9 for 9 for 74 yards and a touchdown. He also had 8 carries for 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. So we can already see what the type of weapon that he's expected to be for USC going forward. 8 Trojans scored, and the junior college transfer Wayman Jordan, he really stood out to me. But other than Miami, it wasn't a big numbers game for anybody, although pretty much anybody. I don't know. Kind of limit. I think he had 7 catches for like 90 yards or something like that. But yeah, it's just a good start to the season. But it is concerning. I saw what Colin Cowherd was saying to Joel Klatt about he thinks that USC is actually more talented on defense this year. Of course, they have Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane, 2 future NFL players at receiver. But as I said the last time I talked about USC, they lost several important pieces to the transfer portal. So not the type of depth offensively maybe that they could have had. But it's I can't say it's not. You can't say anything based on this one game. I would say more than anything, I'm concerned about the lack of offensive depth outside of those 2 receivers that I mentioned. But like I said, the schedule is not that difficult. Colin said 8 wins. I said 8 wins. I want at least 8 games. This one, that's what I hope. I hope they can get 8 wins. And then that can just, lead into next year when Longstreet presumably will be the starter. And, you got the number 1 recruiting class coming in. And maybe that's, as we get into like more like the second half of the Lincoln Riley era, things can pick up and we can get back to, what we expected after that, that first year when he first was hired. And then, last but not least, uh, this game ended slightly, just right before I started recording. I waited for it to end before I started recording. But you had LSU beating um, Clemson 17-10. Number 9 LSU beating number 4 Clemson 17-10 at Clemson. Cade Klubnik, someone who comes in after a great year last year, projected to be one of the top quarterbacks off the board in the draft next year, but he was not that good. He was not that good tonight. He was 19 of 38, 230 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception against a resurgent LSU defense, the best LSU defense has looked in a while, especially considering the opponent. And Garrett Nussmeier was 28 of 38, 230 yards, and a touchdown. So, Ryan Kelly, if they can have a good defense there, like the defense, like I said, they look good tonight. LSU, they could have a chance there, man. There's always talent there, and when they have their best teams under Nick Saban and the Mad Hatter, they had defense. They didn't need defense in 2019 under Eddie O because they're one of the most spectacular offenses in the history of college football.